Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm going to be going through our December book favorites on Chick Lit Plus. So this is all the books that we reviewed on Chick Lit Plus in the month of December that got 5 stars, either from myself or someone from my review team. Now I did just do my 2015 book favorites, so if you have not seen that video yet, I will link it down below, but I will also put it up here if you guys want to go check that out. That is me picking my top favorite 15 books from the entire year of 2015 that I read and sharing them with you guys. It took me a while to come up with the list, but I think it's a good one, and I hope you guys will definitely check that video out if you can. But yeah, why don't we just go ahead and hop into the December book favorites. The first one I have to talk about is actually one that I mentioned in my 2015 favorites, and it's Plan B from Hilary Grossman. So be sure, like I said, I hope you will check the video out anyways if you haven't, but that is one that I reviewed like December 3rd or something, and I gave it 5 stars, but I just knew I had to include it on my list of book favorites for 2015 because I loved it that much. So the next one that I have that I gave 5 stars to is Christmas Confessions and Cocktails, and this is by Vicki Lesage, and the full title is Christmas Confessions and Cocktails, a humorous holiday memoir with sassy drink recipes. I was very excited to read this. I read this just a few weeks before Christmas, so I was starting to read more holiday books and holiday novellas, and I thought a humorous memoir, like I don't read a lot of memoirs, but I was like, you know, I'll give it a go. And then it has these drink recipes in here too, like we could probably get along. I enjoyed this so much. I read it so quickly, and it was one of the books that I kept looking at my Kindle to see how much time I had left in the book, and as we were getting up there, like I found myself reading it more slower because I wanted to prolong it. Do you guys do that with books that you really like? Like I was like, no, I don't want it to be over yet. I'm having so much fun with it. Vicki just goes through a bunch of like funny scenarios that happened to her around Christmas time. It's super interesting to read if this wants to restart because why not? It's just been sitting unused for 5 days, but the moment I want to use it, it needs to restart. Obviously. I absolutely loved it. It went by very quickly. It was super funny, and it does have little cute like drink recipes at the end of each chapter, and definitely one that I think you should check out. The next one that got 5 stars is Sojourn, and this is by Cecilia London, and it says it is the Ballator Saga, book number 3. Annie is the one that read and reviewed this one and gave it 5 stars, and I believe that she has read the entire series. She's read books 1 and 2 in there as well. Those books are, book 1 is Dissident and book 2 is Conscious. Yes, she has read and reviewed both of those books. So this was book number 3. It says, haunted by her experience at the Fed, Carolyn tries to create a new identity, a new presence, a new future. She can't escape the memories that dog her when she least expects it, leaving her mired in a depression that she finds difficult to escape. Says she needs to regain her physical and mental strength if she intends on surviving the journey to find elusive rebellion, but that's easier said than done, with the ghosts of the past constantly whispering in her ear. My Surface just really is intent on restarting. But that is Sojourn from Cecilia London. The next one that I gave 5 stars to is another one that was on my 2015's favorite list, and this is Whisper If You Need Me by Dina Silver. And I mentioned in the video that I'm just a huge fan of Dina Silver. I've read all of her books. I've really enjoyed all of them. I was with her when I was not with her, you know, physically, but I was with her as a fan when she first put out her first debut novel, and I've just been a fan ever since. I like to follow her on social media. I think she's really funny there, and this was her first YA book, so if you're a fan of YA, I know I don't talk about YA a whole lot on my channel because I don't read a lot of it, and really the only reason why I read this one was because I knew it was from Dina, and so I thought, let's give it a chance, and I ended up just highly loving it. And I think that is really interesting. I get asked sometimes from authors that I work with, like, I want to write a book, but I've only written chick lit, and now I want to write a mystery book. Do you think I should write it under another name? And some authors do that. Sophie Kinsella is one who she has written under 2 names. J.K. Rowling, I think it came out that she wrote something completely different under a different name and like didn't let anyone know when she put that book out that it was written by her. It can be a good idea, but at the same time, there are so many books that I would not have grabbed had I have not known the author. So I think it can work both ways, but I will say that honestly the only reason that I read this particular YA book is because I knew it was from Dina and I like to read her books. So food for thought, but that was Whisper If You Need Me. Another Christmas book on there, this is Christmas Ever After by Sarah Morgan, and Annie is the one who reviewed this one. She called it a very charming Christmas story. It's so much fun, like such a good way to get into the holiday spirit by reading these Christmas books. I was like all about it this year. I don't know why. But actually I'm looking on the Amazon page right now on my Surface and there is nothing there. There's no summary, it's completely blank, it just tells me the price. I don't know if it's because it's a UK book, like, and I'm on the US website, but there's no summary there, so there's that. But I will leave all of the review links on Chick Lit Plus in the description box below, as well as their Amazon link in case you do want to check any of these books out. The next one that got 5 stars is The Wedding Tree, and this is by Robin Wells, and Annie read and reviewed this one, and her last line in her review said it was riveting and engrossing and you want to read this love story. So from Amazon it says, national best-selling author Robin Wells weaves a moving epic that stretches from modern-day Louisiana to World War II era New Orleans and back again in this multi-generational tale of love, loss, and redemption. Next one is another 5-star review from Annie, and I'm not totally sure I'm going to say this right, but it is Medici's Daughter, and it is by Sophie Perinot. Sophie Perinot? Not totally sure. It says, in the winter of 1564, the beautiful young Princess Margot is summoned to her mother's household, where her true education begins in earnest. Queen Catherine is intimidating and an unmoving presence in France, even as her country recovers from the first of many devastating religious wars. Eager to be an obedient daughter, Margot embraces her role as a pawn to be married off to the most convenient bidder. Oh boy. Margot leaves the man she loves for Henry, a leader and notorious heretic. Yet Queen Catherine's schemes are endless, and Margot's brother plots vengeance in the streets of Paris. Medici's Daughter is historical fiction at its finest, weaving a unique coming-of-age story and a forbidden love with one of the most dramatic and violent events in French history. So if you are a fan of historical fiction, that sounds really good. So quick note, on my Surface I went to like backspace to type in the next book, and I'm pretty sure I hit buy now with one click. So I think I just bought Medici's Daughter, and that's a $13 ebook.
Hope it's good.
One that got 5-star review is Chance Harbor, and this is by Holly Robinson, and Annie also gave this one 5 stars. Follow Catherine and Zoe, who are sisters, but even their mother Eve admits her daughters are nothing alike. Catherine is calm and responsible, Zoe passionate and rebellious. Nobody is surprised when Zoe gets pregnant, drops out of college, and spirals into a drug addiction. One night, Catherine gets a call from Zoe's terrified daughter, Willow, saying her mother has abandoned her in a bus station and disappears. Eve blames herself, while Catherine, unable to have children, is delighted to raise Willow on her own. Now, 5 years later, Eve is grieving her husband's death and making reluctant plans to sell the family's beloved summer home on Prince Edward Island. But a series of unexpected revelations will upend the family and rock 3 generations of women. That sounds really good. If I could have accidentally one-clicked something, it'd probably be that one. Next one that got 5 stars is A Story of a Like, a decidedly unromantic romance novel, and this is by Courtney Clark. Michelle reviewed this one and gave it 5 stars and said it is such a hilarious novel. It says, he's every woman's idea of the perfect man, a middle-income job, a receding hairline that only Mr. Clean would envy, and a body fit for the Beer Olympics. Who could resist? It looks like our main character is Addison Anderson. A little bit of a tongue twister. But yeah, that's very curious. A decidedly unromantic romance novel. Very interesting. Annie also read and reviewed Saving Jason by E.J. Hanagan and gave this one a 5-star review. It says this book is an emotionally moving look at PTSD and the intersection of 3 lives. Saving Jason is a riveting glimpse into unexpected friendships and the ripples we leave without our knowledge. And then the final 5-star review of December, the final 5-star review of 2015 on Chick Lit Plus. I kind of drew a blank there. What year are we in? I don't know. But the final book review, it was very cool that I posted this one on December 31st on New Year's Eve. And so it was kind of fun to be like, hey, here's our last book review of the year on Chick Lit Plus. And oh, by the way, it's 5 stars. So that was pretty cool, but the book is The Big Lead, and this is by Libby Kirsch. It is book 1 in the Stella Reynolds mystery series. I do love a good mystery. I talk about my love for mysteries quite a bit here on my channel. So I was pretty excited to read this one. And this was just one that, like, from page 1, I was like, yeah, this is going to be good. Because there is a really good mystery element involved. And there's a lot of intrigue and suspense and, you know, all that good stuff you need in a mystery novel. But at the same time, I found it to be very humorous. I was laughing during certain points. There are characters like the neighbor, I believe her name was Janet, the neighbor that Stella meets, like when she has to still be living in a hotel when she first moves for her new job. She had some really hysterical moments in there, especially at the end. And I just thought it was really good. I had a very enjoyable time reading it, had to give it 5 stars, and very much looking forward to the next book in the series. Okay, so that is everything that I have for the month of December that we gave 5 stars to on Chick Lit Plus. I hope you guys liked our list of favorite books. If you did, please sure to give this video a thumbs up so I know that you enjoyed watching it. If you have read any of these books or you plan on reading any of these books, please do comment below and let me know what that is, because I always like to know what you guys are reading. If you haven't checked out the 2015 favorites 4 books, please do go ahead and give that video a watch, because there's a lot of really good books in there. Do a top 15 drugstore, like beauty drugstore products. I did a top 15 video for that as well, so I can leave that linked below also. But I'm really excited to hop into the new year. I'm excited to have my first full year on YouTube. Hopefully it'll be a good time. If you haven't subscribed before you go, please make sure you do. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye guys.